All right, gotta do the grease. Okay, I'm already reporting. Grease check's done. Hey Tarbs, how you doing, baby? You come over say hi? Good boy. Hey, what's up, Brandon friends? Jeff here. So we doing? We're doing well. I'm great. Day's starting off with a bang. Need to go outside, get some stuff handled in the backyard. I'd like to do some planting. It has been raining nonstop. I mean, nonstop for the last like 7 days, something like that. Flooding's been minimal. That's been good. At least here in St. Louis, it's been minimal. And, well, that's kept me from getting much done. That's why I tried to get so much done in the video a week prior to this one. It's not the last video, it's one that came out before that one, you know what I mean? Last weekend. Great time to get things planted. Soil's nice and workable, and then you're going to have overcast and rain for a week. Really helps settle things in. I have a ton of stuff left to plant. That's a problem. We're going to need to take care of that. How many times have I looked at this and not actually put it on? Better. Can you hear me now? Sorry about that. Okay, hi. He's ready to go. Not exactly warm. That's why I have all kinds of things piled up out here outside of the cold frame. I had to shrink it down, had to bring it way down because we were just having storm after storm after storm and tornadoes and things like that. The tornadoes ended up going south of us this time. That was nice. Not for the people down south of us, but it was, you know what I mean? It felt like a horrible thing to say. I'm glad, I'm thankful we didn't get blown away through these last series of storms, but I still had to lower down the greenhouse because it took off the other day, which was odd because, you know, we did have the tornado just 2 weeks ago, very, very windy, and it stayed put, but then there was, I guess, a gust of wind and it went boop, boop, went tumbling around, came outside and it was right there. I might have video of it. It was not a big deal. I put it down. We should go outside. We're going to talk about these things. Come on, Turbs. Oh, wait, no, hold on, Turbo. I forgot. I got to get something. Hey, kitten. How you doing, Floof? Pumpkin. There's your pumpkin sighting. Hey, bud. How you doing? Oh, and Colby has come to say hello. I had a friend over the other day, and he thought that that was a toy. He thought I just, grown-ass man, had a random toy tortoise sitting around. That'd be weird. Why would I have a toy tortoise sitting around? Obviously, it's a real one. I had a package delivery. I'm gonna bring that inside. This little bag has got some heft to it. There we go. Pond planting media. I know you're probably going, Jeff, you don't have a pond. I kind of do in the garage. Now, I have been thinking, this is what I want to talk about in the garden tour. I wanted to talk about it for a while, but haven't been able to because, well, this thing's in the way. It's got to stay in the way. It's supposed to get down to 29 tomorrow night, so that's why everything's piled out here. I like to put in an above ground, just like, you know, a little, they call it a digless pond on the patio here, but I can't exactly be like, hey, what do you think? How would that look when you can't? It's going to go over there. You can't see it. I'll come around here. Right there. And that gap right there. I'm going to do something different with these pots this year, too. The bamboo just is not working for me anymore. Last winter was a pretty mild winter. I don't think we dropped below 0, and this stuff still just looks like garbage. And that's when I had heat cables wrapped around it and everything. The whole point of having something in these containers as perennial was for it to look nice all year. This doesn't look nice all year. I mean, I would even rather just have like a holly bush or something than all the brown. And I love bamboo, but it just doesn't look nice. So I'm going to be doing something totally different over here this year. Don't know what. I have to just keep my eyes peeled for what I can find. But I want to put one of the thing. I want it to go right there. They're small. It's like 90, 100 gallons. I don't think they're 100 gallons. Probably more like 90 gallons. And it's like a kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. We'll have had it up on the screen. It has little portholes in it. I think that my nephew will freaking love it. And, you know, pop a couple goldfish in there. Not much. 90 gallons isn't very much. And I haven't ordered it yet, but I already ordered some plants to put in it, so I'm going to need to get it. Need to do it soon, too. Prices are about to go way, way, way up on certain goods, and I think this is probably one of those ones that the price is going to go way up on it fairly soon, so should probably get that ordered. Yeah, won't that look so nice? Can you visualize it? It's going to be beautiful. That and the rest of the plan, like I'm trying to describe plans for an area that you can't even see. Maybe we can do something about that. Why is this over here? That's not supposed to be here. Okay. Okay. Over here. Let's see if we can get up here. All right. You can see it now, right? Oh my God. I just looked drunk stumbling over there. My neighbor's probably like, what the hell is he doing? So yeah, have the two big, beautiful Lebo, whatever, ceramic planters. The thing I'm talking about is 40 inches wide, which is probably about the opening that's there right now, and it would stick out, you know, about 3 feet from the back to the front at the most. I think that would look fun. And then I wanted to do this last year, but just never got around to it. I would like to do a nice scape up here. I don't really know what. I would like for it to be like, kind of look like a window. That's not how, like a diorama. Because nobody ever comes up here. And I may potentially end up just moving these containers somewhere else completely to open this area up some more. Be able to bring the glider down and put in evergreens along the fence here, narrow ones, maybe like these yews that are right here. Probably like it's probably gonna be yews. They can go with the sun or the shade, and they're easy to hedge up and make them look nice. And have that come down and come out to like an angle over here underneath that pine that's over there. It's really hard to describe all this when you can't see. The spruce, not the pine. It has a lot of dead stuff underneath it. You need to start trimming it out from down below, but from down here, that's just gonna lose a lot of privacy. So I think that doing the yews maybe all the way down and kind of wrapping them around the other side of the spruce to the green giant that's on the other side of there, and then having them, come up right through here and go over just around the base of that pine tree. And then in here, just have this be a big, beautiful area for planting a few nice shrubs. Not filling it with plants, but just a few nice looking shrubs that can take the part shade to the shade. Put a real nice gravel in here, maybe a couple of boulders, which will be so much fun to lift up the hill here. Maybe a little in-ground bird bath or shallow water pool of some kind for the birds, or whatever, with a little bubbler in it. I just think that would be nice. So it'd be like you're out here when you're over there on the patio and you're looking into this little tranquil green garden area. What do you think? I haven't described it that much because, I haven't fully thought it through yet. One, I don't really want to buy all the shrubs and plant them. I have talked about it every single time I plant something on this hill. This soil sucks to dig in. So planting a whole hedge of evergreens along the back of this fence just doesn't sound like fun. But I think it'd be something that would be worth the effort, right? I think so. It can't be anything that's on the line of hardy here. Because you can see the euonymus, they're not even surviving the winters up here. They're dying to the ground every winter. So this is a pretty cold spot. Although the aspidistra are okay. Okay for zone 6. They're okay. I don't know. I think that would be a fun project for the summertime. It's something to sink into. Keep my eyes peeled for fun different materials and whatnots to work with. What you doing, Turbs? You see the apples? Apples are blooming. Some nice apple blossoms. It's supposed to be 29 tomorrow night. We've got buds here. It's supposed to be 29 tomorrow night. You heard that, right? 29. It's going to be brief, though. Hopefully that won't be a problem. Look how quickly things flush out when you plant them when it's nice and cool with the overcast and all that rain. This is the Gigantosaurus hosta. Planted that in last week's video, and it's already, look, there's already so much size on it. Pardon the wobbly camera work. Doing great. That's what hostas do, though. When you get them with a nice root mass on them, they tend to take off fairly easily on their own. Usually, it looks like I missed some of the spirea. Gonna have to get that out of there. Bluebells, apparently we're doing a garden tour. We're just doing some updates. The Virginia bluebells, right here. I know they're called Virginia bluebells, but they are native to Missouri, not just to Missouri, but to my area. And I like to be pretty specific when I plant natives. Native can be such a broad term, right? It just means native to the United States. What are we saying when we say native? Does it matter if it's native when it's just the United States, but maybe it just grows on the East Coast and nowhere else? What good does that do, right, for the wildlife? So I try and find, when I do plant native, I try and plant a few different native things every year, that they're ones that are actually native to the area. Sometimes it's a cultivar of things that are native to the area, but still, I just like to get some things in that are recognizable to nature. I did have somebody ask me about my planting location. He said, mentioned that I had planted the bluebells frequently for the last 3 years and haven't been having luck with them. I was planting them on the other side of the yard under the mimosa tree, and I think that it was too shady. And even though they do like a part shade area, I think they'll do better over here. There's no reason to keep planting them in a spot where I know that they haven't been making it. May as well try them in a new spot, right? So they're going to get really bright morning sun here, and then shade in the late afternoon. And, well, maybe even shade sooner than that, because the hydrangea right there and this hibiscus over here, they're going to put on some size, and so the afternoon sun will be pretty dappled. Heck, they already look better than the ones I had planted there before. Mostly better. There we go. Carolina Sweetheart. Got some nice bud action going in there. The red bud. Anything happening over here? Oh, so much mud. There was so much rain. Be careful walking around. I don't want to pack the soil down. Oh, good. Love it. Love it. This is making me so happy. Even more growth coming up out of the El Nino Catalpa. Really wasn't sure what was going to happen with that. Because I know people have been planting them in zone 6. They're hardy in zone 6, but they've been dying to the ground for a lot of people. And then y'all told me last year when I picked it up from the nursery to be patient with it. Like, it might die down to the ground, but just wait until it gets nice and warm outside and it will regrow. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. That's just like Budleias. Can't grow a butterfly bush to save my life. I'm to hold the wood. They'll die down and come back every year, but that doesn't really do anything for me, so I don't bother with them. But this gets much bigger than the butterfly bush in a single season. I turn away from it. It's because everything's all muddy and gross looking over here. Not much to look at. I was apprehensive with it though, because I'm like, well, I don't want something. I talked about this in the last video. That's going to be like the Rose of Sharon, which there's a Rose of Sharon right here, where they don't do anything until like mid to late May. I don't want that. I have enough of that out here with the bananas and the colocaceas and the things that are in the ground. So I was hoping that it would be wood hardy, and this is not a spot that's protected. The snow sits here longer than some other spots. It got planted late in the year. I didn't even get irrigation run to it until like maybe a month before first frost. And well, it only got planted about 6 weeks. So it was in the ground for 2 weeks without irrigation, or much irrigation. There's lawn sprinklers here, but they don't really hit that area very well. So it didn't really have much time to establish itself. So it basically overwintered in the clay over here. And it's come back from the wood. That's really promising, because if they stay hardy from the wood, is that how we should say that? What's the gardening term? Gardening friends, hardy to the wood. Yeah, wood hardy. That's right. Instead of ground hardy, root hardy, wood hardy. You know what I mean? They will get much bigger. I think this will go like 12, 15 feet if they stay hardy from the wood. Otherwise, they'll die on the ground and maybe go potentially a nice healthy plant. Maybe 6, 8 feet in a single growing season from the ground, which is very impressive. But I would like for it to come up and really fill in that spot. So maybe it's because come back over, show everybody what you're talking about. Maybe it's because the one that I picked up from the nursery had some really nice girthy wood on it. That was my intention when I picked this one up. They had a few to choose from, and there were some that looked nicer than this one, but I went with the one that had the thickest wood on it. I think that definitely makes a big difference when it comes to overwintering these things. It was only 45 bucks. This is the same size it was when I bought it. Such a nice plant. Be planting those things all over the place. I really love them. I also had somebody ask me about my Japanese forest grass, or the Hakanakloa. It's doing well, or I think they just asked me if I was growing it. So yes, here it is. I'm growing it. These are lemon zest Hakanakloa. I think that's what they're called. Ordered them from Wilson Brothers, I believe, last year. They have beautiful color to them. They're similar to the Areola, but they have a bit more green and white on them. Only one of them isn't looking fantastic, but it does have some new growth coming up. Not a lot. It's just a little bit behind the others. I don't know what that's about, but they're doing great. They survived their first winter, which I fully expected them to, and they should flush out and fill this area in really nicely. It's going to look really nice because it's on a curve too, so it's hard to tell depth, but there is a tilt here on the hill, so I like when they're kind of mounded and can flow down. Okay, that's enough. I need to do something. This isn't a garden tour. Oh, unless, did you want to see what the hostas are doing that got planted last week? It's fun when you plant something and they start to do stuff. There's a hosta looking great. It's just a stick, but it looks so good. Nice green sticks. Lime White Prime also flushing out, looking great. Not going to prune on this year. Probably going to be a few years until I prune it. I want it to get to a nice big size. It's full on the inside, doesn't have a lot of little wispy stuff. If it gets full of wispies, by wispy I mean like these guys in here. Those, you can prune those out, but I'm not going to do the third cut back on them because I want these to put on some good size so they'll make for a nice screen. You know what I mean? Gotta block out the neighbors. Lovely people, really like those neighbors, but it's just nice having separation. To not feel like when you're outside that if they're sitting at their dining table, we're all looking right at each other. Okay, so that was my little miniature updates on some things that just got planted, and then talking about how I would love to redo this area. You can't even see it. As far as the cold goes tonight, I'm not terribly concerned. I did pull the Ponceiras out, the Japanese bitter orange trifoliate, orange trifoliata, flying dragon. There's you don't know what I'm talking about. This is got so many buds on it that I want to protect it from the cold, but I also don't want to put it in the greenhouse because it's very spiky and that's very thin, cheap plastic. So I might just scoot it into the house, but I feel like that's going to be a 40-degree temperature difference. So that won't be great for the buds either. So maybe maybe the best thing to do may be to go ahead and lay it down on the ground very gently and just put a frost cloth on top of it. So it'll still have the cool temperatures. These bloom during cool temperatures, but not 29 degrees frost. It's only supposed to be below 32 for about 4 or 5 hours, and it's going to warm back up. So I'm not that concerned about it. Everything else that's out here are things that should be able to handle that cold. The wallflowers, we'll see. I think they'll be okay. I don't have a lot of experience with wallflowers, though. Dianthus, they'll be fine. English daisies, yeah. I already pulled the ranunculus, which need a prune to go in. The roses will be okay. I do have some roses over there that have some buds on them I want to take inside. Is there anything in the green stock? Yeah, I mean, basil's not gonna like that. I don't want to move this thing. I mean, I know it has wheels, but I put them on wrong. Because I put them on wrong, it doesn't move all that easily. I didn't pay attention. You're supposed to alternate the wheels with the locks, and I don't really know why that would make a difference. It just doesn't move that easily. Oh, well, hold on. That's not too bad. It just kind of has a mind of its own. Is that, you know what I mean? It wants to go different ways. But once you get it moving and get some momentum, that's not too bad. Yeah, I can get that into the green stock. Wow, that smelled good. The frond from the windmill palm whisked across the mint here. Which one are you? Just peppermint? I think it's just peppermint. Oh, it's the spearmint. Oh, no, it's peppermint. Where's the spearmint? Here's the spearmint. More of a rounded leaf. Wish you could smell it. Spearmint's my favorite. Love the spearmint, Greek oregano, chamomile. I can bury my face in the chamomile. What's happening right now? This doesn't even need to be going on. So before I even move anything in to the cold box, cold frame greenhouse over there, I have some lights I need to untangle because I should probably plug in some lights to help warm things up tonight in there. And I could set the tropicals on top of a pallet. I have some pallets so they're not in contact with the ground, but I don't think the ground in there is actually even that cool. Like I said, it's just supposed to be for a few hours. Chinese fan palms, they can handle a brief frost. So can the bamboo palms. So I'm not that worried about them. I just figure I have this here. It would be dumb to not just screw them inside, right? Oh, and I have some new roses down here that are just beautiful. I can't wait to show you guys these blooms. These have the most spectacular blooms. Even the bud. Look at how beautiful that bud is. It's got all kinds of color in it. Really, really pretty, vibrant rose. I think it's a hybrid tea. I can't remember. I don't like to impulse buy roses, but I seem to do it every single year. And I end up putting them somewhere else. I'm probably going to keep these, though. Yeah, sweet orange rose. It is a hybrid tea. And that picture does not do it justice. This is a beautiful rose. Fluorescent orange. And a hint of coral to the outer petal. 5 to 6 high, 3 to 4 wide. 0 to -10. So that's good to 6B. In zone 6, period. Yeah. Really pretty rose. Don't know anything about its vigor or disease resistance, but the flowers were really pretty. That's why I got it. There are some more new things in here that you all haven't seen yet. I'll go ahead and pop this open. Actually, I need to go ahead and raise the roof back up in here. I'm not going to walk around inside like this. I had to stab a hole in here because this got full of water from all the rain. I think they said just south of us, they got, I think, 12 to 13 inches of rain. I think we're more like, I don't know. It varied around the St. Louis area. I think we were around 7. That's a lot of rain in a very short amount of time, which is, I mean, nice because we didn't flood, which is great. There were some disturbances with traffic. There's an area around here where a couple highways intersect that just notoriously floods during the springtime, but it didn't shut things down for days or anything. I don't think anybody's homes were hurt that I'm aware of. Hopefully not. And it gave the ground a good drenching. It really needed it because March was a very dry month. Why didn't more of the water drain out of here? Is there like a gunked up leaf or something? I popped the hole in there yesterday. It was just a tiny hole, one that I could just put some tape on. Well, I can lift this up. It was completely full to like right here. I knew that this frame's not strong enough for me to lift up the frame and get that water off. I don't even know if I could do it, 'cause that's a lot of weight. And it's an awkward, like you just have this little pole to push up on. And we'll just put this up and then do something. Oh, there's more plants to show you. Whew. That wasn't easy. Moving the palm trees in here was no problem. Getting this dang roof back up was a problem, and in fact, it even broke. This thing, that's supposed to be over here. That's supposed to be right here. It just snapped. I'm not surprised by that. This was, I think, the cheapest one of these I was able to find. Just kind of an experiment to see if I was going to like it. And I do, but I would like to replace it with something better for next year, because it's full of holes and it's so hard to get the roof up on this. It was me and another person out here yesterday. So where I left off was me being like, oh, I'm gonna need to put the roof up and then put the plants. That was yesterday. Spent probably a good 45 minutes trying to get this roof up, and we gave up because it wasn't budging. And then this morning I came out here and I was like, well, I'm just gonna give it another go, and it happened to work. Why? I don't know. Doing everything the same today as I was yesterday. Whatever. The roof is up, and I can move the plants in. They've changed the low to 31. That's still on the cusp of being in an area that I'm not comfortable with, so I'm still scooting this stuff in, because they're right outside the door. May as well, right? I mentioned there being some new things, but I don't know. It's not really that much to go into. It's a few summer annuals, but also cool weather. So I have some petunias down here and some euphorbia, another wallflower that I thought was really pretty purple bacopa, and an assortment of impatiens, because I was ready for summer color, and then it got cold again. That's the way it goes. I also picked up this Nepeta. I probably shouldn't have. This one is called the something. Can't see it. Can you see it? Lemon Perfection, but Perfection. I'm pretty sure that I've grown this before or something similar to it, and I wasn't that crazy because it just kind of had sort of a wild, sprawly habit to it. But I really like that purple on the flower next to that lime green on the foliage. So I was like, oh, okay, we'll give you another try. I'm not even sure I've grown, but this looks like something I'm pretty sure I grew, and I was like, I didn't like its growth habit, but here we are, gonna do it again. Also, this is something that just really surprised me. Of how long have I had these? Probably 10 days. So well back into March, April at this point, still early April. Today's April 7th, I believe. They had butterfly bushes at the store that are in bloom. They have buds on them, and they had Nephofia that was in bloom. All kinds of summer blooming things were at the nursery and in bloom. It felt like a fever dream. Is that because we got bumped up to a zone 7? I'm going to continue referring to where I live as a zone 6B. 6A, 6B, or 6B, 7A. But I'm not on board with the 7 thing. We've talked about that so many times. But is it because we're moved up to a zone 7, so they're sending up more summery type things earlier in the year? I don't know. Fellow zone 7ers, what is it like at your big box stores this time of year? Do you usually see things like petunias and euphorbias and bacopa and impatiens in late March into early April? For us, that's usually more of like a mid-April thing when we start to see the impatiens and stuff like that. And then, all the other things flow out after that. And prior to that, it's mostly pansies and whatnot. The selection's been phenomenal this year. Is that because it's just been a great selection, or is it because I'm now a zone 7er? What else is left out here? Oh, the 2 roses. I already showed you the roses. In the butterfly bushes that I grabbed, I kind of got into this when I was talking about those chatalpas out there. I just don't have reliable, what am I trying to say? I haven't been up that long. It's early. They're not reliably hardy. They're totally root hardy to the ground, but for them to survive from the wood, not so much. So I don't always bother with buddleias, but they were cheap and they were already in bud. Get ready to bloom. So I'm like, yeah, grab a couple of those. I can put them in pots or something. I just want more out here for the pollinators, because there are bees and things all over the place right now, but they don't have a lot to snack on. So grab some buddleias. It was more for the bugs than anything. I'm glad that I was able to get this part up. I mean, it's a bummer that happened, but whatever. Is this crooked? I don't think this is even. Let's have a look from out here. Yeah, it's a little bit wonky. Why won't that go up any higher? I thought I put it up as high. It doesn't matter. Listen, just trying to keep them protected tonight during the frost. That's all. It's literally only for one night. It doesn't have to look pretty. It's more of a functionality thing. Just to add some protection. Oh, it smells so good. Yesterday, I wanted a salad. I eat a salad for lunch pretty much every day. And I was out of greens. And I was like, oh wait, I forgot. I had the greens. I came out and I just pulled myself a bunch of baby lettuce and grabbed some other herbs. It was delicious. But I will say lettuce is one of those things where, you know, a lot of times you grow a produce or something for yourself. You're like, oh, it tastes so much better fresh from the garden. I can't really tell a difference with lettuce. Is that just me? To me, it has always tasted the same. I can't tell much of a difference between the lettuce that I've grown and just picked up from the store. But it's lettuce. It's not necessarily the most flavorful thing. Maybe it was a little bit more of a fresh taste to it, perhaps, but not by much. Ow. Yeah, kind of figured that was going to happen. When it's going to be cold, don't let the plastic touch the sides of the plants. But it's only going to be 31, they're saying. That's only for a couple hours. I doubt it will even get down to 31. Like I said, this is just because it would be stupid to not go ahead and scoot them in when they're sitting right here. With these, I do want them in because I want to protect those buds. Don't want them to turn all brown and mushy. Okay. Oh, and then the fuchsia. Oh yeah, I picked up the fuchsia. Always got to have my springtime fuchsia, which I guess I'll just set down over there. Is there room for the orange? I think there is. I could kind of put it right here. I just don't want it near the edges of the plastic, so I'll tear it up. Not that it matters, because there's no way I'm going to try and use this thing for a whole nother winter. I don't think it'll last through another winter. To go with something higher quality if I want multi-year use out of it, apparently. Yeah, that works. I think it works a lot better than trying to take it into the house. The ranunculus. These guys need some work. I need to come out here with some snips and just really go back on them. So a lot of these flowers, I know they look fairly fresh, but they're really not. I've been bad about deadheading. I had an entire bud blast out right here. Had a few buds that started to blast out on their own. May as well come in here and clean these up. Yeah, see, like those shouldn't be there. Oops, should have snapped those off a long time ago. Petals on the screen of the camera here. Anything that I missed? I think I came in and snapped off all the old spent blooms. There are a lot of seed heads in there. I don't know why I did that. I usually enjoy the deadheading process. I guess, well, I mean, it has been like 8 days since I spent any time out here because it, you know, rain, nonstop rain. I don't know why I'm even bothering with these. These have been down to 31, but it's, you know, like I said, 31 is so close to being on the cusp of a hard freeze. That's why it just makes sense to put them away. Okay, plants are put away. I'm gonna probably actually just leave this open for now because it's gonna get really hot in there. If I zip it up, and I don't want them to go from, you know, probably up to like 85 or 90 in there to 30 tonight. That'd be too much. I'm gonna leave this open for the daytime. It's in the 50s or upper 40s right now. Then shut it before I go to bed and, I don't know, pick up and do something. I don't know what, because everything's still wet and there's not a lot to plant right now. Maybe some planters? I don't know. Need to get to the middle of the week so I can see the extended forecast for moving into mid-April. You know what I shouldn't do when it's supposed to get really cold outside is go to a nursery. But it's just one night. The plants can hang out in the car. They'll be fine. I would go another day, but, well, just like the rest of y'all, I can't just go to a nursery every single day. Today's the day when I can do it, and that's going to be it for another week or so. So, it's a nice day. I mean, it's going to be cold tonight, but that's okay. We can go to the nursery. It's a big one. It's a grower. Usually have things at phenomenal price. It's a huge selection. Everybody usually enjoys those videos. I think I'm going to bring somebody with me, so there might be interference and talking and random noises. Kind of a loud person. But, yeah, I think that'll be fun. Let's get some plants. Well, I started on my words there. What was I going to look for? I need some hibiscus. Would like some hibiscus trees. Get some of the annuals, some vinca. These have really good prices, and some nice varieties of vinca, maybe some herbs. Who knows? Could be all kinds of fun things in there. Apparently Community Garden Week, what's that say? National Beer Day, International Beaver Day. Okay, happy Beaver Day, everyone. They look very healthy. I did several of these last year and I hated them. I hated these. They're so hard to water. It's a bag, yeah, it's a bag, and there's a little opening at the very top. You can see it right here. And it's just, you gotta let the water trickle into it. If it's up on drip, not a big deal. I don't know if I'm gonna do those this year. Marguerites. Those look nice. Oh, succulent section has grown quite a bit. Cute. Oh gosh, these things are huge. Beautiful. $4.25. Pretty dang good. These are beasts. There. Blaze Crassula. Blue Elf. Those are nice. I love the purple on these. Yep. Pearl von Nuremberg. It's a classic. These are so nice. So nice. Some of them are a little stretched out, but that's okay. You just cut their heads off and fix them up. Oh, here's more of the bags. I'm not getting any, but have a look at them. Aren't they nice? This is good. Coral Reef Pink. I love those. It's pretty good. Oh, they're beautiful. That little guy's $25. I don't know much about it, but I think I'm gonna get it. There's gonna be little random clips of me talking to other people because people are saying hi, and that's, you know, that's fine. That's fine, but it's maybe weird in the video. Maybe we just go with it. Look at those. Aren't those cute?
Yeah, they are.
Are they wind socks? What do? Do they spin, you think?
They must.
Yeah, because they're like pleated. Oh, that's fun. Can we make it spin? Do one of these? Yeah. Kind of caladiums that grown out this year. Pink Splash. I like Pink Splash. It's neat. It has a round.
What?
I was saying I like this. This one it has a nice round leaf on it. Here's the Fancy Leaf Miss Muffet. Those are nice. Ugh. So much color. Love these guys right here. The Allure stand out great in the shade. And they can take a good amount of sun. Summer Breeze, one of my favorites. Love that. Love that leaf. Purple bridal veil. Look at it. It's kind of iridescent. Can you see it? It doesn't show on camera. Oh, I hate it. They tried to give it a cute name, but I don't like it. That's gross. It looks infected. And don't get me wrong, I understand the appeal. I'm just saying it's not for me. These guys are only $10 a pop. Balsam, Camellia Mix, and Impatience. Those are cool. I don't have good luck with those. Here's something I haven't seen. Soiree Double Pink Vinca. I know the soirees, they're cool. It almost looks like a dianthus. There's a fan right there. That's why you probably can't hear me. Really neat. The foliage is a little bit different, kind of more delicate than a regular Vinca. Blockbuster Blue. It's purple, but it does look more blue in person. What a great color. The things are happening. Look at the aisles. Take it all in. Oh, it's so pretty. I've approached that point where I'm officially overwhelmed and don't know what to do. Oh, these are neat. That's cool. Starry Wind. So that says, yeah, Starry Wind. Cool. And the Tropicals. I'm just gonna thought the cart was leaving. So everybody just gets a view. Oh, such a nice color. I have a peach at home, but it's like this big. Kind of hibiscus. It just says tropical. Lots of tropical hibiscus. Some fiestas.
Yeah,
this, yeah, another gorgeous one. So much hibiscus. Hey, and not often I can show you guys a full pass through. There's no one all the way through. Look at all that. See how big this place is? I'm usually very careful, so I don't want to, get people on camera, at least not for a prolonged period. The place is usually too crowded to pull that off very well. Oh, these are fun. These are great. I love these. Love these. The pillars, or whatever you call them. Yeah, so I don't know what I want, the pole or what I want the tree. I've always gotten this one in the pole because it's the only option they've ever had. But I kind of like the tree better, I think. Huh? You can just get one of them. Sure, you can put it on the cart. That's awesome. Oh my god, I have an assistant. I bought one of these a few years ago, specifically because of this one orange flower. I kind of want to do it again. It's such a nice orange, and I don't ever see it on any of the others. Right? Like, it's so pretty. Can we get a bush that's just that one orange? I love that orange. And I think, yeah, these are all mellow yellows. These are all lantana trees. Not doing the lantana trees again this year. I mean, I want to, because they're so pretty, but just don't have the frickin' sun for them anymore. Not by midsummer. These are great. How much are these guys? These are only $40? Holy crap, that's a great deal. And the hibiscus trees gardenias are $35. Aren't they beautiful? The gardenias are somewhat temperamental, but the kind that you find in a place like this are probably more of a floral type. I don't see a variety name on them. I think it probably just says gardenia standard, or it says nothing. Right morning sun. They want to be consistently moist. It just says gardenia tree, so I don't know what type. But deadheading helps, but on the newer varieties you don't necessarily have to. Panama roses. I love those. I don't like those dark centers, and those pink ones. Just put out the Seminole pinks. The Seminole pinks are pretty. What's with those? They look like a Rose of Sharon. What's the point? Oh, are these Waikikis? Or white lava? One of those? The name on here? These are Royal Hawaiian Maui Sunrise. Very nice. Good sized plants. These are fun. These are fun because they fill up with water. And then the water, when it rains, they fill up and then they pour it out. Some pretty bananas, some bajus, nice big guys. Were these diamond heads? Maybe, yep, diamond heads. Maui gold, this is one of my favorites. The leaves on these aren't they shiny? Mm-hmm. Like, don't they make you feel quenched? I don't know, that's how I would describe it, as quenched. More nanas. Then they have the Eugenias and balls. Same price, $40. What do you like better, the balls or the swirls? I think I like the balls better, only because a swirl, like, you can buy a dwarf Alberta spruce, you can buy all kinds of things for relatively good prices and swirl them up very easily, but getting the ball form takes longer. It's harder to find a plant that you could do this to on your own that's nice and full. And how much are the Majesties? Oh, these are only $30. That's a good price. Love them. Didn't see a price on these, did you? Bet they're about $60. Oh, $85. I mean, considering you get the form, you get a pot, you get the form, these forms bolt in through the bottom of the containers in a really nice moss pot. It's not terrible. It'd make a nice gift. What is this? How are they? What's going on here? How are these tiny little buddleias in bloom right now? Can we just use what? Huh? I'm very confused. Are these like trailers? Cranberry? It doesn't say it's a trailer. It says it's bushy, which I disagree with. $8.50 is a phenomenal price for hellebores. These are, for some reason, they're always like $28 to $40, and I don't get it. Ugh. So cute, so cute. Look at the color on this. That's a neat color. I made sure to take my sunglasses off so I won't be misunderstanding the tones. It has like a coral flower with a lavenderish center. These carts filling up fast. I've never been here with somebody to help me, and so I'm kind of trying to take advantage of it. Not the help. I'm not trying to take advantage of the help. Just, you know, go ahead and get stuff when I have somebody here to help with all the carts. Look at it. Come on. Isn't this place just absolutely beautiful? Oh, they have little balls. I think I'm just going to zoom through the next few aisles and let y'all have a look at whatever's in front, because my carts are full. Oh, it's a nice soft color. And that's all coleus. Beale Street. Got geraniums, more coleus. The impatiens. So many impatiens. So much color. And little papyrus. Queen tuts. God, they have so many Gerber daisies. Gerber, Gerber, Gerbera, Gerbera. The internet gets very testy over how you pronounce that word. Any video I've done on those, there's always flack when I say Gerber. They're like, no, it's Gerber or Gerbera or Gerbera. And I'm like, come on, calm down. Is that Dusty Rose? Oh, you just said that. Okay. Floraline, midi pink. It's a nice soft color. Look at the size of those things. Rocapoco, Impatiens, Abultons. It's a fun stuff. Jazzberry, bubblegum. I think it's too early for a lot of these. Lisa Dark Pink. Does that look dark pink to you? Sometimes the greenhouse plastic throws things off. Okay, now just need to make all of this and all of that fit in here. I think I can do it. Also, look at how stinking cute is this thing. That's a cool car. That's cool. The wheels and everything's so cool. Yes, hello Turbo. I miss you too, baby. Miss you so much. It's the next day. It's the next day. I think I got down to 32 last night. I don't know. Some things are saying 27, 28. Some things are saying 32. Left all the new plants in the car. Everything in here I think is okay. I actually don't know why I think it's okay because I haven't popped it open to look. But there's no reason that it wouldn't be. Come on, zipper. Here we go. Get that popped open. Come in here and have a look. Oh yeah, look. Looks great. Got the bar in the face. Nice and toasty in here. Not seeing any bud damage on the roses, hibiscus, bananas. Yeah, I forgot to put a heater in here too. I was going to put the lights back in here and I totally blanked on that. But the ground's warm and these plants, they help kind of keep each other warm. Not that they, produce heat, but they release heat throughout the night. The soil does anyways. And this piece of junk up here broke last night of all night. So I don't actually know how cold it got in here. I'm not going to use these anymore. The Govee sensors, I used to be all about them. This will be the 6th one I've been through. I haven't replaced this one 6 times. I bought 3 in the early winter and had to replace those. So this is the last of those replacements. So this is number 6 gone. They're too expensive for that mess. Don't know what that's about. Don't understand it. But yeah, everything in here is looking good. In fact, this sensor over here, this is one so I can get an outdoor reading. This one says that it's minus 1,479 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I'm gonna say that's probably not right. I think we'd all be dead. That's colder than space. Been working on plant labels. I've been trying to... Why don't you come over here, Turbo? Come on. I need to label a lot of the new perennials I've been putting in the ground because I have a well-meaning helper around here who just rips everything up that's not a palm tree or a pine tree. So as unnecessary as I think it is to label the Veronica, I gotta do it. So I have those sitting over here, working on those. I've just been having a scent bath amongst all the fragrances, and it's warmed up enough now that I think this would be a good time to go ahead and unload the stuff from the car and have a look at all the goodies picked up from Weethop. I mentioned that's where I was. Weethop or Wythop, don't know how you say it. Great grower. Retail grower. They might do wholesale too. I don't know. The prices are really good whether you're doing retail or wholesale. Do I have the Gorilla? Oh, I do have the Gorilla cart. It currently has a dead juniper in it right now. That's fine. Got that juniper put away. That was an emerald feather juniper, which I absolutely love. Wonderful juniper. This is where I store my pots. Anything that I either need to keep or send off to the recycling place goes over here. That didn't die during the winter time. I have it over here. I have 2 of them. One of them's looking great. This one actually died during the drought last summer, or mostly died. I decided to hold on to it through the winter, see what would happen with it. It does still have some life down low. So I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to come in, I'm just going to cut it so we can get to rebound from down low and keep it over here in this nice warm corner. We'll just see what happens. It's about all you can do. I have much better luck. Hey, Turbo, where'd you go, baby? Where's Turbo? Yeah, you don't need to be over there. You know better. You're not supposed to go running around where I can't see you. The junipers, I have much better luck with them in the wintertime in containers than I do with the Thuyas, with arbs. I think it's because they can handle the dry winters a lot better. The arbs need the water and the wind just destroys them. So I will probably try and find another one. Can I get that? Okay. because the other one just looks so nice and does so well during the winter time. Here we go. Oh, look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Hopefully this isn't a spoiler. It's not. We'll go through everything more individually. Things are stacked and piled back there. Oh, this is so good. Coolest temperature in the next 14-day forecast that I'm seeing is, I think, 41 or 40 tonight and then 41 moving forward. I'm not worried about that with any of these guys. And these are, I mean, the hibiscus, they can handle the 40s. The impatiens, sun patients particularly, they can take it. The only thing is these have not been hardened off. So I'm going to keep them near the greenhouse so I can just kind of scoot them on there into the inside if I have to. Okay, I'm going to unload. Do you see? I got a whole flat of these. The Blockbuster Blue. You can be able to see that tag in there. See it? Blockbuster Blue Vinca. You got to see these in person. They're a beautiful light purple. They have a lot more red and pink to them on camera, but in person, it's more of a light blue, not light blue, light purple. Not quite as red as you're seeing right here. Turbo, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have doubted you. Should have known you were going to be right here. Never doubt the Turbo. Such a good boy. What is this? Oh, Pearl von Nuremberg. Okay, yeah, I'm going to unload. Got the stuff to the backyard. We have a little bit more light. Actually, the lighting's probably better in the trunk, but I can't do a plant haul in the trunk. That'd be weird. I've done weirder things like on top of the dumpster in the driveway before, but get it unloaded. Got to get it out of here anyways. And sitting out here with all these new plants has me wondering, or thinking that I'm probably going to get asked, because I usually do, if you're bringing out tropicals that you've purchased, why not bring out the tropicals from the grow space? That wasn't the smoothest zoom that I was hoping for, because I don't have room for all of the plants in the grow space in there, right? So right now, I know it probably didn't seem like there's a lot of space in there, but there's still like a 2-foot walking perimeter around everything on the inside, so I could take everything and scoot it back, and that would open up plenty of space for everything you see here. And everything that's over here aren't things that necessarily would need to go in should we have another cold snap, because it could happen. We've had snow in late April, early May before, so that's just something I want to be prepared for. I also don't want to be babying and tending to things too terribly much. I would like to stay on track with what I've been doing this year, which is that I receive a plant and I plant a plant. And that's really only been possible with the perennials, right? Because I can get those in the ground, perennials, shrubs, trees. But the tropicals, pretty much everything here are things that I'm going to be using around the other tropicals. A lot of those being the big palm trees that are off at storage. And I'm thinking that, or I decided I should say, while I was at the grower yesterday, to not buy all of my sun patients and my colorful fillers that I put around those big palm trees. I was like, you just wait this year. Wait until they get delivered. Let the nursery take care of them. Don't bring them home. It may mean less of a selection by the time you get to it, because by Mother's Day is pretty much when things peak around here. And at that place we were just at today, it's like kind of dwindled by Mother's Day. They're only open for a couple months a year. So I think they close, I don't even know, late May, possibly, I don't know. So I just grabbed some things that are things that I thought I could work with right now. These are plants that I can, well, not everything. That's not fully true, but I wanted that to be what I was doing, was to get things that I could work with right now. But, you know, the Vinca, they're not ready to go, and that's the case with everything else. Let's just dive into it, because there are some plants here that I'm just really excited about. I'm like, look at me. Look at the best company ever on the glider right now. Right here, Chrysandras. These were only $3.75. Great deal. So I went ahead and I got 2 of them. I'm not ready for the Chrysandra, but they were only $3.75. So I said, okay, well, go ahead and get them. You're here. So there are 2 of those Chrysandras, and then 2 of some of my favorites. Just love these. These are the Summer Breeze Caladium. You saw them in the greenhouse, and that's going to be a better depiction because it's much brighter in the greenhouse. Things are somewhat backlit right now, but you get the picture. They have a nice white, red, and pink on the inside and a dark green on the outside. Kind of a lemony appeal to them. They sort of remind me of the Lemon Blush Proven Winners Caladium. You see they age out to more dark. They open up much more light. They're just a cute, happy Caladium. I also like their leaves to be a little more squat and kind of squeezed. Little chunky heart-shaped leaves. What are you? Oh, there's multiple things squeezed over here. So I have 3 of these. No, I don't. I thought this was something else. This is just an oregano. Hot and spicy oregano. Smell it. Get in there. You smell it? Oh, it's a nice oregano. And it has a hint of heat to it. I don't need more oregano, but I thought, hey, why not? Got the green stalks, is a lot of herbs, may as well. And that's also why I grabbed this other one right here, which is the pineapple sage. And I'm sure a lot of you have grown this before. It's just a very sweet, aromatic, smell it. Lovely sage that smells like pineapple. I think that the two of these are perennial, aren't they? The sage is kind of a hit or miss, I think, but a lot of the time oregano will return. Yeah, this is zone 7, down to 0 degrees. The oregano is probably going to be a zone 6. I don't think that this would be an annual type, although I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't know anything about the hot and spicy. I've grown the Greeks and the Italians and some others, but not the Greek. -20, zone 5. Fantastic. Not that matters. Let me put it in the green stock, and it will be growing that way, but good to know. Okay, what else do we have in here? Now we can just pull out the big one. Well, it's the big obvious one right here. Isn't that just lovely? Look in there. Beautiful flower. I think this must be oh, it's a quad. Huh. Look at that. Yeah, okay. Adds up. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, well, I don't know what the other 2 colors are going to be. One of them, this is the main reason I got this, was for this beautiful kind of coral colored flower that I just love. And it has that soft orange, and I don't know what the rest are. Hopefully not the stupid ones with the dark red centers. The pink with the dark red center. We talked about them. I don't like them. Only because they took the place of the Seminole pink, which is a beautiful bubblegum pink. It used to be you could get the Mr. Presidents, the Seminole pinks, and whatever the heck the yellow one was called. And the El Capitans, they were like double flowered in different colors. You don't see those as often anymore. But that was the main thing you saw. Now there's a lot more variety, but the Seminole pink, you just don't see it as often. They've been replaced with that other one with the dark center. Ugh, her. Don't like her. It is pretty. I just have my feels about it. So like I said, I think that it made it harder to find the Seminole pink. Kind of replace it, which I'm sure is for a good reason. Probably a better bloomer or something. I don't know. Here we go. The succulent tray and Bidens. There are a couple of Bidens in here. Oh, what's that? It's my receipt. I need that. Surprising. I'm usually pretty good at holding on to those. So in here, I grabbed 2 of the Coral Reef, no 3. Yes, 3 of the Coral Reef Echeverias. You saw them at the nursery. Absolutely beautiful. And then 3 of the Pearl von Nurnbergs. And then 1 of these burrito varieties of the Morganianum sedums. It's just a nice, big, thick one. So I thought, okay, I'll grab it. I don't need more of those, but I got another one. And then I don't know what these are. Are these the topsy-turvies? They look kind of like topsy-turvies, but backwards. I feel like the foliage on them is maybe a smidge more narrow and pinched than what you typically see on the topsy-turvy, which is the Runyenii, I think. But I don't know. They're also in a greenhouse, and you can see like they're very top-heavy. I hope they're the topsy-turvies. Topsy-turvies are a super cold-hardy Echeveria. So if you're in zone 8, I would give these a try. Maybe 7B into 7A even. A well-drained site that has some protection in the afternoon. Make sure it stays nice and dry during the winter. But I know at Plant Delights, they've been having success overwintering their topsy-turvy Echeverias. A lot of Echeverias are actually pretty dang cold-tolerant. But I think the topsy-turvy has been proving to be exceptionally cold-tolerant, which is why I grabbed 3 of them just out of hopes that maybe that's what they are. And look at all the little babies. They're just full of pups. So I'm going to be able to pluck those out and grow a lot more of them and put them into probably their own planter with some other hardy succulents and just see what happens with them over the winter. That was something I wanted to try and do last year, but I just didn't see the topsy-turvies. Maybe I still haven't, but I'm pretty sure this is them. A couple Bidens back here. I don't always plant these, but there was just something about the foliage and the distance between the leaves and the petals. There's something kind of, I don't know, what's the word? Relaxing, tranquil, airy. I thought they were airy. The Timeless White Delight Bidens. It's a full sun plant, which is why I don't typically grow them, but for this time of year, it'll be fine. Come midsummer, these are not going to look very good. Not likely to look very good because the sun goes away and then the sun-loving annuals start to dwindle. So I prefer to stick with a lot of begonias and impatiens because they can transition between the two. And also the chenille plants. Couldn't find any of these last year, so I just went ahead and grabbed 3 of them. Well, last year I got picky. These did exist last year, but it wasn't until after all these little guys were sold out that I decided I wanted to plant some. And then at that point, I was like, well, I should buy them in a hanging basket because they'll be nice and big and I can divide them up. You know what? I got greedy and screwed myself over. I never found them in a hanging basket. So I went ahead and I grabbed 3 of them. These are the, well, I thought they were firetails. I swear, I really thought these were labeled firetail. Okay, well, this one's labeled firetail. All right, whatever. They're Acalphas. They're you know, this guy right here, the fun, fuzzy, dinky, dingly things. These get bigger, much bigger. They're a great trailer. They love the heat. And they can go to part sun. See, they're part sun. They can take a good, I mean, they could go full sun if you're just counting the like 6 to 8 hours of morning sun. But when it's really hot and dry out, afternoon shade, they really do a lot better with that shade. I like them because they're a tight trailer. So they cling tight to the side of the container that they're trailing down. They don't stick out. You know, like a sweet potato vine. Put a sweet potato vine in a pot like this, it's just going to bush up and stick out. Even some of the petunias will do that, but these, they cling nice and tight. So they kind of conform to the side of the pot. Not kind of, they don't really conform to the side of a container. I shouldn't say that. That's more of a creeping Jenny baby tears kind of thing. But they maintain a close proximity. The stuff over here is not that exciting. I grabbed 2 6-packs of marigolds just because I was like, I'll do it. They do help with the aphids. They're stinky. That's the only reason I don't plant marigolds, but I thought I might throw them in the green stock around some of the edibles. There's a couple of strobilanthes, Darianus in here, right? Got the Persian shields. Beautiful. Come on, there we go. Persian shields. They are drought resistant. They can go sun or shade. Mine do better with afternoon protection. These things, they grow into a giant metallic shiny bush by the end of the year. I love a Persian shield. Great price. I think those were $3.75 too. It's a great price for those. And then I also grabbed another full sun plant that probably won't do great, but I just thought I'd give it a try. It's a Crispettia. I love these. Whenever I see them, they make me so happy. It's going to be really hard to get this on camera, especially when things are backlit. So let's just come in here. There we go. You can see it. These haven't fully opened yet, but that's what the flowers look like. They're just these really long wisps with little yellow balls on top of them. It's just a fun plant. I love these. These and the, what are they? You know, the stinky things. What are they called? Plant them every year. Why can't I think of them? Sheesh, I'm really drawing a blank here. What are they called? You know, they come in pink, white, and orange. The orange ones are my favorite. Gomfrino. They remind me of Gomfrino. But these are perennial, right? Or, I mean, perennial in the sense I think they're pretty good reseeders. It says annual up there, but they reseed pretty well, don't they? I thought they did. Well, 32. Maybe not. Well, that doesn't necessarily matter. Petunias and all kinds of tropical-esque annuals reseed themselves. I don't know why I was thinking that the Crispettias were good reseeders. Let me know. Comment down below if you know. So that's all the little stuff over here. And now all that's left is all this. That's that big stuff over here in the cart. Change locations. Things wouldn't be as bad. How you doing, Turbs? Just like to be right in the way of everything, don't you? You're gonna go up, sit behind me? All right, that works. There they are. There's the rest of it. I was wrong. There were some more little things. These are the XP Mix Vinca that I know awful. I just watered them. Should have waited till after I showed you. It's an assortment of colors. You'll get to see them again some other time. I guarantee it. They will be around plenty. They're just, you give them water and they just go, they just fall over and look terrible. I thought that they were the Soirees or a Cascade when I picked them up. I wasn't paying attention, but that's okay because they're still fun, nice big. The XP Mix, they tend to be a really nice big bushy Vinca. I threw together a flat of those. And I also have two of the Tropical Rose Sun Patience. They're variegated, as you can tell. I always get at least one of these every year, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned when we were there at the greenhouse, but it was yesterday, so I don't fully remember, that the one last year when I transplanted it to go underneath the pygmy date palm, which is what I always do. I do that every year, and it just looks so good. Last year, something chewed out the roots on it. So this year I have 2, and chances are when I go back, I will more than likely be making it so that I have 3. Too much fingernail. Good thing there isn't dirt under them. Because I just love them so much. I want them spread around. There's the same price whether you go with the bowl or the basket, and they're both just so incredibly full. See how full those are? They are just magnificent. Nice big baskets. They're just going to get huge this year. As far as the big stuff goes, well, there's a whole bunch, and I have a little bit of confusion. This says mellow yellow on it, and that hibiscus says nothing on it. But I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive it's one of the mellow yellows, which I showed when we were in there. It's a yellow. None of the flowers are open today. That's what you gotta love about hibiscus, right? But it's a yellow flower, really nice, warm, vibrant yellow that's not overly saturated. So it's not like a mustard. It's more of like a light lemon yellow with a reddish pink throat on the inside. I don't usually like the dark center. I've talked about it so much, I'm sure it's annoying at this point. But the red in the very center, it fades out into kind of a pink, and then that goes into more of a lemon yellow. I like the mellow yellow hibiscus a lot. This is labeled mellow yellow, so that's a standard, as you can see. And this is a column, so it's a piece of bamboo with a bunch of stems wrapped up it. This orange is not mellow yellow, but I know that it did have a mellow yellow on it, which is why I got it, because I was like, oh, it has the mellow yellow and my favorite orange that I don't know what it's called. Have no idea what that orange is called, but it is one of my favorites. The only reason I bought this entire thing is because at least one of the stems in there has that beautiful creamy orange colored flower. That's a sad looking flower. It's its second day, maybe its third day, I don't know, whatever. It's on the day that it dies off. So that's why it's looking like that. It'll be okay. That's what the hibiscus do. As far as the balls go, I went with the eugenias and maybe talked about it, I don't know, so I'll keep it brief, over the spirals, went with the ball shape over the spirals, that is, because the spirals are pretty easy to make. You can grab a dwarf Alberta spruce, you can find a little Spartan juniper, something like that, and you can just cut them up. Real easy to make your own spiral. But it's more difficult, I find, to find plants that are full enough to do the ball-shaped topiaries with, at least for a reasonable price. So that's why I went with the balls. I just like the look of them. And then I also have two of the gardenias back here, which are not labeled, so I don't know what kind. They're just a floral gardenia of some kind, very prolific. They seem nice, whatever they are. They're aging out into a beautiful yellow. I'm not going to be keeping all of these. The eugenias or the gardenia I'm going to be putting up as an option for somebody I'm doing some planters with. They will take one or the other, and I'm going to keep whichever one they don't take. I hope they take the gardenias because I really like the eugenias. The gardenia is great. Don't get me wrong. I think they're fun and everything. But where I would end up putting them would be my front porch, where it gets really nice, great morning sun and afternoon shade. But it's not a spot I frequent all that often. And I'm not going to be wowed or anything by them because I'm not going to see them that often on my front porch. But the eugenias, those I can put in some more areas back here or on the front porch, and I won't care if I don't see them as often on the front porch because as much as I love them, I'm not going to be missing out on scent, right? You want a gardenia someplace where you're going to be hanging out so you can smell it. You know what I mean? I really don't think it got that cold out here last night. Look at how great these ranunculus are still looking. These don't look like they've been touched by frost. Just probably going to be the nature of things moving forward. Brief dips into the high 20s, like 28 and up. Probably aren't going to hurt anything because I got a big body of water over there that is heated. I only have the heater set to like 70 right now, so it's not a lot of heat, but it's something. Now this warm pavement that releases that warmth at night. Why did I get so distracted so easily? Yeah, because it's what I do. Didn't need to ask why. That's just how I am. Yeah, so that's everything. There will be more. This is one of probably 3 trips I'll be making to that place. I'm not going to bother, like I said, with getting all my sun patience and stuff yet because one, I like for things to grow out. 2, I'm doing some other things that I don't really want to talk about or shouldn't talk. I don't know. Business side things with the LLC aspect of landscaping to make sure I'm getting proper discounts. So I will probably maybe be getting my sun patience from someplace else where I can get them in bulk quantity for a lot less money. There it is. The ugly side of things. You don't want to talk about the money, but it is part of it, right? Got to get things where you can get them at a really good price. And these are kind of the big bang things. Big bang for your buck. Big giant baskets. Considering, remember, it's early April. This is going to be a massive mound, both of those, in a couple months. Everything so far that I've shown you, I expect to be plants that are just going to sit still. They're not going to do much for a while because it's not that warm yet. And when it gets warm, it'll be warm for a couple weeks and then boom, they will explode in growth. Not so much the eugenias. Although eugenias are very fast growers. If you don't know, maybe I should talk about the eugenias some. So they're a wonderful evergreen shrub for southern climates, warm southern climates. I do believe that there are some that can go a little bit cooler, like they can maybe take a light frost, maybe dip into the 20s somewhat, but for the most part, I think they're a 10 and up, maybe 8B if you got a lot of protection. Like, I mean, tons and tons of protection for them, then maybe, but I don't know. I don't live in those zones, so I can only speak from what I've heard and read from other people. For me, here in 6B, that no, they're not going to be perennials. There's just no way. If I could find boxwoods or hollies this size for $40, I would definitely buy those over these, because they would be perennial. But there's a couple $100 for a boxwood or a holly that's topiaried. at that size at most of the nurseries out here. So I was like, hey, 40 bucks, I can do that. You know, I'll spend 30 bucks on a hibiscus tree. I'll spend 40 bucks on a topiary. It's pretty good and not unheard of. Usually they're pretty reasonably priced. The gardenia trees, I usually see these at Sam's Club right around mid-April, moving towards Mother's Day, for about the same price. I don't know what the pricing on things is going to be like this year. So I just went and I grabbed them. And yeah, nice and stocked up on things that are going to have to sit around for a while. The hibiscus, I'm not going to bother potting them up yet because it's just going to be cool out for the next couple weeks. It's not going to be cold, but it's going to be cool. Lows in the 40s, highs in the 60s. There might be a day or two in the 80s next week, but not enough to really invigorate them to get them growing. So I'm mostly just going to be keeping a lot of these plants in this vicinity and in that vicinity so that should I need to, I can just pop them back into that greenhouse. Probably won't need to, but you never know. It only takes a few minutes to scoot them into that thing, and I will be seeing around April 15th what the next 2 weeks look like after that, and I will determine when I can get that big ugly plastic thing out of the backyard. Would like to get that big ugly plastic thing out of the backyard. I'm tired of looking at it, but it is serving a purpose. It's coming in very useful. All right, hey, thanks for hanging out. That was fun. I know I had mentioned maybe doing some planting. Clearly that's not happening, but we got to go plant shopping and look at some fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff. Found it interesting how much larger the leaves are on the basket over the bowl. There's nothing else to say further than that. They're the same plant, so it means nothing. It was just, that's interesting. Slightly different growing conditions, maybe? I don't know. The orange I mentioned, I don't think it's going to be sold this year. I know last year they sold the variegated tropical orange or whatever it was called, vigorous orange, I don't know, whatever they were calling it, the variegated one with the orange flowers as the improved version. And I'm told by some of y'all who grew them that they were not very improved. And my orange ones last year barely did any growing and any flowering. So there's something going on with the genetics in that plant that I think they either need to iron out or start over with, and hopefully they'll be back on the market in a few years, because I love the orange one, but I really prefer the tropical rose over the orange because it's reliable and it just stands out. It's really nice. Sometimes the orange can be a bit much and kind of harsh on the eyes. The pink and the variegation, these look nice. Oh, look at that, kind of messed up the small one in there. Oops, sorry, I don't know why it was bugging me. Had to take that off. It'll be interesting to see what the other colors are on this. I know it has the orange and apparently has the mellow yellow. What else is going to be there? Because I know this is not mellow yellow. That's orange. Don't know what it looks like on camera. Can't see the screen, but that's orange. And I can't really show you a mellow yellow because they aren't opened right now. You can kind of see right here. Maybe I can peel it open. Well, that's just going to look orange. It's all faded. You can see the yellow. You get it. Hey, I hope everybody's doing well. Having a great day, great life, and everything's going absolutely beautifully for you. Have you been getting out to the nurseries yet, working on your spring cleanup? All I really have left to do out here as far as spring cleanup is concerned is some mulching. I have some bags of mulch left that are hanging out down there on the other side of the patio. Holding on to those because I'm going to be putting those over on that hill garden area where the plants, some stuff I showed you at the beginning of the video. That whole area is going to get a lot of mulch. So I figure I just hold on to it and all of this stuff over here. I'm probably going to wait a couple more days so it warms up some more, start to spread this out. Remember, the big mulch piles are fantastic for overwintering your plants. So there's some Hiddekium gingers under here. It keeps them nice and warm. But when the sun starts to come out in the springtime, it's not going to warm up those rhizomes and get them growing if you have a big pile of mulch on top, because mulch also helps keep things cool from the heat. That's what we love about mulch. So that's something I always have to remind myself of, is that you got to pull that stuff out and spread it out. Go ahead and do it early once you don't have to worry about frost more, so that the ground can warm up and the plants can wake up. Nobody asked, but it was just on my mind, so I thought I'd mention it. All right. Blocked myself in here. I think I can take the green stalk out of here. I really don't think I need to even put any of these things in here, but better safe than sorry, right? I can actually probably wait another day. It's supposed to be 41 tonight. All right, hope everybody's doing well, having a great day, a great life, and everything's just going absolutely beautifully for you. And of course, as always, and most importantly, everybody, keep on growing. Bye-bye.